like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka, Councilman Samaluka call, he should be here, but he'll be late. Councilwoman Dorminio.
Here.
Councilman Garrick.
Here.
Councilman Accomando.
Here.
Council President Mazur.
Here. Please rise for the salute to the flag, and please remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of the 9/11 victims. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members and to all legal newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during a meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Have a motion to open the meeting to public?
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to be heard, please come up to the podium.
Hi, Sylvia Zottarelli, 232 Lanza Ave. I have pictures on my phone which I can show you guys later. I just want to know, when they did the paving over on Lanza Ave, the Bobcats made U-turns in my driveway, and there's all tire tracks with asphalt on them. Are we going to get those out? Because I'm trying to sell my house.
Okay.
So I'll show you the pictures later. I just wanted to let you know.
Mayor, who would
Yeah,
contact?
Rick, the paving on Caldwell Avenue, we did receive one other complaint across the street from you, that they left when they did the sidewalk and the ramp, that
I was not aware that they were actually using private property that they should not.
okay.
Oh, they dug up my lawn too. They dug up the lawn, they did replace that, and listen, I get you get what you pay for and you have to take the lowest bid, but this was horrible, I'm gonna tell you that.
Regardless of whether it was a low bid or not, you're not supposed to go on private property.
Well, they dug up a tree off my property. I mean, I have pictures, I can show you later.
Look into it?
Yeah, we would definitely look into it.
Okay, I'll look into it, Sylvia.
Good evening, everyone. Emil Sudol, Van Leeuwen Terrace, Saddlebrook. A couple of things I just wanted to bring up. Oh, first of all, if I may, the township picnic that y'all did was awesome. You did a great job. Anybody that was involved in that, the people from the town really, really enjoyed that. Great day, good weather, good time. Thank all of you for that. What I wanted to bring up to you tonight was, I don't know, I call this Welcome to Saddlebrook. And there's a couple of, I got a couple of photos. I'll pass these along to you. If I could approach or give you guys these. This is the Route 80 underpass, overpass, whatever you want to call it, on Market Street. This is what you see when you come into the town. I mean, it was horrible.
Angela, you want to start from there?
Is there anything that we could do to clean that up, paint it, or?
This is called an overpass. This is Route 80 over Market Street.
Okay, but you see what I'm picturing?
That's state property.
I don't care whose property it is, it's horrible. If there's anything that we could do as a township to get that either painted or cleaned up, and there's, back here. One other photograph I want to give you. This is on Saddle River Road. This piece of property, I understand the township owns this piece of property. It comes right from Rochelle Park entrance, right by the Route 80 ramp. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a field. There's nothing there, absolutely nothing. Maybe we could do something there, put up a flagpole, a welcome to Saddlebrook sign, or just to, you know, make it look pretty, because this is just grass. And I'm sure the engineer can come up with something, a good design or something that we could do here.
It's passive open space.
But I don't know if the township.
We have
owns it.
discussed putting something there.
But, you
We
know,
have
once
discussed.
again, I've
Welcome.
passed this follow along to you, just so you know where it is. And the last thing I just wanted to bring up, finally, here I am with photos again. This is Victor Street, after the last rainstorm. Victor, Fifth, completely wiped out again with floodwaters. And, I don't know. I just hope that we could do something to straighten this matter out, because it really looks terrible. And it puts some really nasty stuff onto people's property. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry, retired chef, 92 Claremont. Just to, I know you put one bench in that park over there by Victor. I mean, can we do a little better? We could sit 3 people there now instead of none. Maybe 4 or 5 benches. I mean, when you look by Washington School there, there's 5 or 6 benches by the Unico thing. I think the town can afford to put a couple more benches there. The other thing I'm going to talk about is, Karen, a couple months ago, you said to the public that the council is on top of all the projects and we know exactly what's going on. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you. These are the projects you started, and I'm going to say to you to answer me the projects that you finished. Veterans Field is over 6 years. I went there today, it's finished. It's horrible. If you accept that as a final job, there's something wrong with you. Okay? The engineering is horrible there, the drainage is horrible there. The handicap ramps are dangerous. They're not horrible, they're dangerous. Okay? And I don't know if handicap ramps are allowed to be made with pavers as its base. Senior housing, going on 6 years with that. I told you 5 years or 6 years ago, the guy was BSing you. Sure enough, that's what he's doing to you, because there ain't nobody going in there. Okay, there's activity there, but at a snail's pace. Okay? The paving that we're doing, 75% of the paving is done by public service for the roads they ripped up. Give me the list of the roads that the township actually paid for. I said Market Street, I told you about the curb appeal, the brick pavers that are torn up, the wall by Matsui, everything that's just not done. Fifth Street, put millions of dollars in there. It's a failure. The guy just showed you pictures. Just showed you pictures. It's exactly how it was before we sunk all the money in there. And we're going for another $80,000 to move that dirt. These are the things that we'll put a lot of effort into, and we do very well. Town picnic, tree lighting, Easter egg hunt, the parades, the trick-or-treat thing that they have, the run in the town. These are things that our rec director can do and projects and activity people can do as volunteers. We elect you people to do the 5 things or the 6 things up on top and stay on top of them and stay on top of the contractors and stay on top of the projects so they're finished in a timely manner. You start them with a starting date, you end them with a finishing date. If not, we're gonna go broke, believe me. And like I say, that Veterans Field is a shame. It's shameful, the way it's made and the way that it was finished. It's shame, and I feel sorry for the last contractor that worked there because he's the last guy there. And there's just spaces and drop downs and drainage. Water goes downhill, it don't go uphill. And you don't bring the water to the building. It's just like the whole thing needs to be ripped up. And it should have been stopped and it shouldn't have been paid for. Like I said, when you people vote to pay the
Okay,
bills,
Larry,
do
your
you go
comments
look
are
at the
noted.
job
Thank
first
you.
and see
Your
what kind
time
of
is
job
up.
you got?
Thank you, Larry. Please be seated. Anyone else wishing to be heard? No. Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Just through the chair.
Yes.
He did bring up a good point, and I do handicap ramps, but I do it with wood. Can you construct a handicap ramp with pavers? You can, okay. Because I do it with lumber, I never really did it with, and concrete, but never pavers.
There's a lot of municipalities in the downtown district that use brick pavers to demarcate the walkway downtown, and the handicap ramps cannot be done.
I learned something today, so it's good, thank you.
Mayor, would you like to comment?
Yes, yes. Just to address some of Larry's concerns. I disagree with you, Larry. You know, so you bring up some points. Veterans Field is not a disaster. That's, you're entitled to your opinion, and you bring up some points. Look, the drainage is fine there. I mean, you're talking about drainage. Yeah, the engineer was just there tonight over that rain season.
All right, Larry, we're not going to banter back and forth. Okay, Mayor?
As far as some of these other projects, the senior housing, it's proceeding. I wish it would go a little faster, but it is, they are moving. They're ready to pour the foundation. Look, there's always issues with every project, and we try to deal with them. So, with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about some of the road work updates that we have. In 2018, basically a little status report. Kenny Place was completed. William Street Phase 2 was completed. Caldwell Avenue Phase 1, which is a New Jersey DOT grant, is completed. Sylvia, your comments there, your complaint is noted, and we will certainly check into that. Liberty Street, which is a Bergen County Community Development Grant, is complete. That was done before school, as well as Caldwell Avenue, because, as you know, school opened up this week. President Street water main replacement is going to be done on or about September 10th, which is next week. Notice was given to all the contractors to begin the following paving projects September 10th. Erie Street, Claremont Avenue, Hayes Drive, and Nedlick Drive. LaGregne Street is also on the list for this year, but that'll be started in October 10th. As always, we'll give notice, status reports on our website, saddlebrooknj.us, as well as the contractors give notice to every homeowner in the affected areas. Our engineer is already working on identifying roads for 2019, the road program. Also, I just want to say, north and south Leswing, we did receive some complaints because Liberty Street was done, the drainage and the paving, and so some of the residents over there, they want to know when their street's going to be done, and they are on the list. We're going to put in for, as was Liberty Street, that was a community development grant. We're going to put into that next year. We needed to finish Liberty Street first before we could go. That's actually phase 3 of the project, so that will be put in for next year. Veterans Field, contractor is in the final stages. He may even be complete with the pavers by the new concession stand and the bathrooms. I said this on Tuesday, and I want to repeat it for everyone, for the community to hear. We want to reactivate the flood committee. It never really was. We never dismantled it, but it's just recently it's come to our attention with the flash floods that we've been having. We had some problems on Congress Street, which usually doesn't flood, but we had a problem there. Some areas where normally we don't see water, Midland and President, Midland and Outwater. Prior to this year, we were meeting with county officials and surrounding communities, as well as we had some residents that were part of this committee. Fortunately, there was a couple of things that happened last year beyond our control. The county had a flood management director. Her name is Betsy Stagg, who was an expert in that area. Unfortunately, she passed away last year. And then also the shared services director, Tom Richards, took a job somewhere else, and that position was vacant at the county level for a while. So really, we didn't hear from them, and so it kind of stalled there. But I spoke to the new shared services director, who is Ed Rabatini, who's a councilman in East Rutherford. We're going to schedule a meeting and talk about what we can do to work together. It's important that we all do what we can to reduce the potential for flooding. And we're in the thick of really the middle of hurricane season. We've been very fortunate so far, but we do take it seriously, and we want to, again, reestablish that committee. The town picnic, I want to thank, again, Projects and Activities, the committee, certainly Karen, Shannon Nakamondo, Christine Generario, all our sponsors and volunteers. I know Karen's going to talk about it, so I don't want to, she'll get more into that, but I do want to mention a couple of things. And when I've previously spoken about this, I seem to forget them, and I shouldn't, but I want to thank the council members, all of them. They worked very hard for the picnic. Andrew was manning the pizza, and Flo was with the cotton candy all day. Todd was doing the popcorn. Dave was away vacationing. Lucky him. But anyway, I want to thank them because they really do put a lot of effort out for our community. Also, the Saddlebrook Library, they're there. They're not getting paid. They're volunteering their time to be at the picnic. Also, Rec Director Andy Gallo. Holiday lighting. I spoke about this on Tuesday. We are moving forward with a proposal to display holiday lighting across Market Street. The utility poles must be equipped with an electrical outlet, which costs money, and as well as the lights themselves. We're looking into both purchasing and leasing, leaning towards leasing. But we did receive requests from the community, from residents wanting Saddlebrook to be more festive during the holiday season, like a lot of the surrounding communities do during the holiday season. So I believe we're going to move forward on that. It's something that the council and I agree on. The annual Mayor's Walk, which took place the morning of the picnic, which is August 25th. The purpose of the walk was to encourage residents to exercise regularly, to enjoy the benefits of better health. And this year, we promoted our Stigma-Free initiative, which is to bring awareness about mental illness and to support those who do suffer from mental illness. All the participants received a free lime green Stigma-Free t-shirt, which lime green is the stigma-free color. I want to thank Christine Generario and Andy Gallo for all their help. Andy gave a presentation prior to the walk about how exercise improves mental health, and did a great job with that. Another good feel-good story is I want to shout out to Dollar General. Sometime over the summer, a 13-year-old boy from Saddlebrook, he was shaken up because his bicycle, a brand new bicycle, was stolen from right outside Dollar General. He was inside shopping with his grandmother. Store managers, including our Saddlebrook resident, Antonella Papagella, I think that's the way you pronounce her name. But anyway, she came up with a great idea to have the store purchase a new bike for the boy. So they did so, and that was presented to him last Wednesday in the store, along with the police chief Kugler and the officer who took the report. Officer Diaz was there as well, and some other representatives from the police department. We're having a pep rally tomorrow night, which is Friday, September 7th, starts at 7 p.m. For the rec football and cheer, pep for the cheer leading teams. Our town videographer will be there taping at 6:15 prior to the pep rally. The council and I are going to have a ceremony marking the opening of the new concession stand. We got the Unico Street Fair coming up on Sunday, October 7th. That's always a good event. And I want to welcome all the kids and parents back to school, and welcome them back and wish them a successful and safe year.
Thank you, Mayor. Council comments?
I just want to start by, last month's meeting, it left the meeting in a negative manner between the mayor and myself. And I just wanted to say that we did speak after the meeting. We hashed things out like adults, and that we're now on the same page. The reason I'm saying this is because a few people questioned me, asked me if things were hashed out, because we have mutual friends, and they were worried about the fact that we weren't speaking. And I said, it's Bob would stand up. He spoke to me after the meeting. We hashed things out, and we're on the same page. So I just want to let people know that. that's where we're at.
Thank you, I agree, Todd, thank you.
Also, we want to reactivate the CERT program within the township. It's been inactive for quite some time. We had a large number of people that were involved. I think when we did the open enrollment, we had 23 people sign up, which was the most in this area according to Rochelle Park, who was very active with their OEM and CERT. So we will be starting in October this fall for classes, and we'll be doing shared service with Garfield, Lodi, and Rochelle Park. The classes will be at Garfield Senior Center, 480 Midland Avenue in Garfield, from October 4th to December 5th, from 7 to 9:30. And they're mostly, I believe, on Wednesday nights, and some Saturdays for like interaction type of things, like fire simulation and stuff like that. So if anyone is interested, I'll have the flyer, I believe, posted on the website, or you could email myself at councilmanaccomando@saddlebrooknj.gov, or John Toohey at jjtoohey178@aol.com. And like I said, it's open enrollment, it's great, it's free, and like I said, we do have some members that are still involved, and I'd love to see those members come out and be part of it again, because it'll be a good thing for the township. And the picnic was wonderful. I mean, unfortunately, I had to leave a little early, but it was wonderful. Like Emil said, the weather was, I think, the best Saturday of the summer. So thank you to my wife, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council, for volunteering. With that being said, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman?
Thank you. I just have a couple things. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone that volunteered, Karen, and everyone else that gave their time and made the picnic such a huge success. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I was away on vacation, but I heard it was wonderful from all my friends and neighbors that attended. I'd also like to wish everyone from the school district, the staff and the students, a successful school year. I know we have some teachers that come to meetings, and have a successful school year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Okay, I'd like to address Mr. Ratajczak's comments about us not overseeing the projects, which is your opinion and not what really is going on. We do have good professionals that are on top of the projects with us. I have the utmost respect for our engineer, who just walked through Veterans Field during the rain, and everything is fine. So I disagree with you. As far as senior housing goes, unfortunately, you're right, it's taking a long time. And I believe it's probably 9 years, 4 with the previous administration, and we're going into, well, 3. And unfortunately, it got behind, but we want to see this happen. The seniors want to see this happen. So the site work is working. They pushed the delivery of the boxes back to the end of this month. And at this point, we just have to continue to go forward and see it get completed. And that's what we're looking forward to do. On the good news, on the happy stuff, the picnic, yes, anybody could do a picnic, but it takes all of us to do the picnic. And quite honestly, I've never seen you volunteer. But that being said, I want to thank the mayor, the council. As the mayor said, Mr. Simaluka, you stood all day, Todd, Flo, the vendors, Howie, forgetting Acme, the mayor's youth group, the women's club. It's important for everybody to know the women's club brings the cake to serve the entire day for free, which is incredible. Our DPW, we have 8 pizza places that for the last 4 years donates between 12 and 20 pizzas all afternoon. It's incredible. The mayor's youth group, Shannon Accomando, unbelievable. All the people together make it a really wonderful, wonderful day. And I cannot forget Pete, the money man,
Oh, yeah.
for with whom we couldn't do it. It was a great day. It was a great event for the community. It's a great feel-good thing. It's a give back. It allows us to give back, and I think it's a great thing. And with that, I'm good.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman?
Yes. On the agenda tonight, is the second reading of the marijuana ordinance. It was sent to the planning board because it is a zoning ordinance, as the requirements dictate. They sent it back. It shows that they really looked at it, because they did send it back with a recommendation. The recommendation was good and a valid one. We have taken that under consideration, and we have made a slight alteration, not a major change, but a slight alteration to that ordinance, and it's going to be voted on tonight. Again, it is only for retail and wholesale sale of marijuana and marijuana products. It does not in any way impact anything to do with medical marijuana. So just to be clear, it is only recreational marijuana. There was some talk, and actually I think I spoke at the last meeting, that the Attorney General had said don't prosecute any marijuana cases until September 4th, because the thought was they might do something in terms of legalization or decriminalization. Well, the week before September 4th, I got a memo along with other municipal prosecutors saying, hey, listen, we didn't really do anything, we haven't come up with anything, so just do what you did before. So as of now, recreational marijuana is illegal in this town, in this state, and federally in the country. Some other things, we talked about the picnic. I'm not going to go on. It was a great event. I love doing it. I've been a pizza guy for the last couple of years, and it's hard on the feet, but it's great to meet all the people that come by. A lot of people are old friends, and you make some new friends, but everybody did a fantastic job. It really is a group effort, and it was and we had good weather, thank God. We had some new tables, thanks to Todd and his band of merry men, who put them together. It wasn't exactly the amount that Todd and all of us were seeking initially, but it's better than what it was. And like I was saying, I'm from the other things.
Just,
Yes.
we did 19 tables, but the person I spoke to from the county only put 6 in our area, that I asked if he'd put the 19 and take the 19 out. So for that, I apologize, because I did tell you we would have the tables done. So, and we still have 6 tables sitting in the fenced-in yard waiting to get put out. So potentially we could have had 12 tables instead of the 6. So, but thank you. Just had to give you a comment on that.
Listen, you know, perfection should not be the enemy of good. So we'll take what we got. It's not perfect. Speaking of not perfect, we've had people talking for years about Veterans Field, how it's horrible. We should have never turfed it. Well, I think the turfing was a success. With all these rains, I mean, we've had, unfortunately, some areas of town that traditionally flood have had some issues, and I believe that it's been better. To say that it was a total failure is just totally false. You look on TV and there's cars floating down streets. Not only in Little Falls and other towns, but other states. It happens. Sometimes the drainage cannot handle the amount of rain, and unfortunately, we have some areas that traditionally have had that problem, and we're trying to reduce it. So somebody said the other day, you went from 2 feet of floodwater to 1 foot of floodwater. Well, I'd say it's pretty damn good, because you can get a car through 1 foot of floodwater. 2 feet, not so much. And we're continuing to work on it. But, you know, some places are just prone to that, unfortunately, and then we're doing our best to fix whatever's there. People were complaining about bathrooms for years. We've got the bathrooms. And I'm sure that once somebody goes to that bathroom, they're going to have some kind of complaints. Nobody's going to be happy with 100% of what we do. It's just, It's just the way it is. Some people are chronically more unhappy than others, but, you know, that's their prerogative, that's their perspective on things. So, you know, if that's the way they think, that's nothing we're gonna do or say is gonna change that. For the most part, I believe that we've improved that field tremendously, and I think that the majority of people agree with that. Some people don't, that's their prerogative. Senior housing, I spoke to Mr. Bialy just by chance, and he's the person from the county in charge. My understanding, unless it's been changed since last week, and maybe it has, but I think the dates he mentioned were the 17th of September, they were gonna lay the foundation, and they expected the boxes to be delivered, the boxes for the units, to be delivered on the 24th. That may be pushed back, but we actually see and have realistic dates. It's not pie in the sky, we'll do it sometime. We're talking about supposedly by the end of this month, and get some people in there. And I talked to Pete, and there's a bunch of people out there excited for this, bunch of people out there on the waiting list, and my understanding is a vast majority are Saddlebrook residents. I know there was some fear about who was gonna go there and live there, but the majority of people are from Saddlebrook, and those that aren't from Saddlebrook are from surrounding communities, you know, Lodi, Elmwood Park, Garfield, things like that. We talked about the picnic, the next big event, it's not really a Saddlebrook event, a Saddlebrook Township event, but it is, because we're part of it. It's the Unico Street Fair. So we're gonna ask everyone to come out and support Unico. They do great things, give a lot of money to people and organizations that are in need. That's October 7th, and hopefully, you know, a lot of us are members of Unico, and we fully support that. And we, as a council and as a town, mayor and council included, give as much as necessary and help out as much as we can. We're looking forward to the start of football season. And I read in the package that what we have done is provided for our rec football players new helmets, state-of-the-art helmets that basically have no give in terms of movement inside the head to try and minimize any kind of head injury. They are state-of-the-art, and they are new, and that's a cost that we gladly will spend for the safety of our kids. Speaking of football, my prediction, Green Bay, Jacksonville Super Bowl, with my team Green Bay winning. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyway, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Karen and Shannon, and of course Christine, and everyone that was involved with the picnic. Awesome day, awesome. And I believe the councilwoman did address Mr. Ratajczak's issues, but there was one that he did mention about the bench at Victor. That was actually a Mayor's Youth Group project. The Unico at Welcome was actually Unico, and those were donations from people that you know, were most gracious to give for those. We'll be more than happy to put more benches there if need be, not a problem. And as far as all those projects, I mean, we want to see them done also, and we do keep on top of them. We want that senior housing done yesterday, trust me. And I think we're doing a great job at multitasking, to be honest with you. But anyway, having said that, okay, move on to ordinances. Yes?
This, I apologize, is number 12.
Number 12.
I should do it now. I didn't think of it the other night. I'm just confused about the whole thing, because it's fill from our roadways that was housed on our property, and we had to refill with fill we paid for. So did we get any compensation for the old fill being housed on township property? Because I'm confused why we should pay for new fill and pay for old fill to get taken out. I don't know if that's common practice.
Yes.
Oh, it's not 12. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, 4. I'm sorry. I'm just,
The original contract had
Okay.
That was in the contract. And the contractor was going to take that material somewhere else as clean fill, but unfortunately, it came back not as clean fill, but as historic fill, so it has to be treated differently.
Okay, so it came back as historic fill when they started the project?
After the project started, yes.
Oh, after. So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying, because we housed it on township property, so the
Temporarily
contractor
stored.
didn't have to take it. So shouldn't that be like some type of a savings for the township?
Well, we reduced his initial hauling cost. We negotiated that down to the fee that's presented here as the $80,000 for the 400 truckloads. But again, the basis of temporarily storing it was so that he could continue and finish out the project versus excavate the material, test it, and then find a place to dispose of the material, each segment along the way, and that would just take forever to get the project done. So this,
So for the 400 loads, it's $200?
it is,
Oh.
it's $200 a load, yes, to transfer it from here to the Meadowlands
And
Commission.
again, I apologize, because I didn't think of it the other night
Mhm.
on Tuesday, so I
That's fine.
apologize for bringing it up now. I don't want to seem like I put you on the spot. I was just confused. I was just,
Is it 200 load or 500?
Okay, just, because we did talk about this on Tuesday, the way you can look at it is, they thought that they were gonna open the road and have normal dirt in there, remove it, and take it out and replace it. The problem is when they opened it up, it was something other than what they thought it was gonna be. It's such,
Cinder and-
it's sort of like when you pay someone to build a house, and they give you a price, and all of a sudden they open a wall, and they find out that it's full of asbestos, or mold, or there's different kind of electrical that they've gotta change, and, you know, they're gonna say, well, this is not what we contracted for. We contracted under the belief that there wasn't any asbestos. You're gonna get an extra bill. It's not unusual to have that. In terms of that Fifth Street project with the change orders, there's some question as to change orders. I believe that the change order price came in less than 10% of the project, and the overall cost of the project came in at less than the original estimate. So all in all, you know, I think it worked out financially.
like I
Mike.
said, I didn't mean to, I just was thinking about it the other night and today, but
Sure.
thank you. And thank you for the clarification.
All righty. Okay. Move on to the ordinance.
Ordinance 1646-18 is an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Township of Saddlebrook, Chapter 206 zoning, by adding a new section to prohibit retail, wholesale sale of marijuana products. We had the introduction of the second reading, we had the public hearing. We continued it to tonight for any amendments that the council may want to entertain based on the planning board attorney's recommendation.
Have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second, roll call.
Now, we're voting on
The amendment, to amend.
Amendment.
The change.
Councilman Samaluka.
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio.
Yes.
Councilman Garrick.
Yes.
Councilman Accomando.
Yes.
Council President Mazer.
Yes.
And based on Mr. Suarez's comment, it's a minor amendment and does not have to be re-advertised and can be adopted in full.
That's correct. There was just some language of clarification provided by the planning board attorney regarding the medical marijuana section, which I edited and sent it over.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that the ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Township of Saddlebrook, Chapter 206 zoning, by adding a new section to prohibit retail, wholesale sale of marijuana products as amended, is now passed on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion.
Second,
Second?
roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Mazer?
Yes.
Ordinance 1647-18 is a bond ordinance to authorize the improvement of Fairlawn Parkway Phase 1 in by and for the Township of Southbrook, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $410,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds for second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
I just
Yes.
have a question regards to this. Again, I apologize. Here it says to pave Fairlawn Parkway. Does that include, I know you said they would do curbs if needed and remove trees
That's
if they had
part
to?
of the program.
That's part of the program, okay. Just-
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Motion.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dorminio?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mazur.
Yes.
A bond ordinance to authorize the improvement of Fairlawn Parkway Phase 1 in by and for the Township of Southbrook, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $410,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Motion to open.
Second.
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 All in favor? The meeting is now open to the public regarding this ordinance and this ordinance only. Anyone wishing to be, questions on this? Have seen no one, motion to close?
Motion to close the public.
Second.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook that the ordinance entitled, "A Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Improvement of Fairlawn Parkway Phase 1 in by and for the Township of Southbrook and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $410,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, does now pass on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law."
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mazur.
Yes.
All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requests it, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence reports, and approval of minutes and applications. Not part of the consent agenda will be the minutes and resolution number 8 and resolution number 9.
Through the chair, I just saw that, resolution number 3, we talk about change orders a lot of time, and just for the public's knowledge, sometimes change orders are reductions, and in this particular one, there is a change order. It doesn't always mean that the price goes up. In this case, it went down, and one of the change orders for the Fifth Street also was a reduction, in speaking to the clerk administrator. So not every change order is an increase. Most of them are, but there are change orders that we get money back, and that's happens to be one of them, so I'm happy about that.
Okay, get a motion for minutes?
Consent.
Sorry, motion for consent,
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
second. Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mazur.
Yes.
We have the minutes of the August 2nd, 2018 regular public meeting.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Mazur.
Abstain.
We have the resolution, payment of bills, Stone Garden. Council President Mazur will recluse herself and leave the dais. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
You may return. And Councilwoman Doraminio will now recluse herself on the payment of bills, zone plumbing and heating. And she will leave the dais.
Good motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doraminio? She reclused herself. Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Mazur?
Yes. Okey-dokey. Old business? Anyone? Old business?
I'm just happy, the mayor had mentioned the holiday lighting, that's kind of a pet project. Just since we've talked about it a couple of times, the wall at the cemetery on North Midland Avenue, kind of next to the Bennigans, is in the process of being repaired. We believe there was some contractor problems, so not only do public entities run into contractor problems, but private entities do, so hopefully that'll be done before the next meeting. And I think my comments covered everything else.
Okay. Good. Anyone else? Old business?
Thank you.
New business?
Yes, through the chair. Just want to mention Emil's remarks about Route 80 there, that
Oh, yeah.
overpass. I happen to agree with him. That area is just very dark. People coming into town from Essex Street, it's dark, it's dirty. There may be something that we'll contact the state. Maybe there's something we can do, have painted, or maybe even have the art department in the school do a mural or something. It's just, it's more just dark, you know, and dreary looking. Which, you know, it's not the nicest way to come into town and see that. So that I happen to agree with him on that. And I know the other location you were talking about, I think it's also a perfect location for a welcome to Saddlebrook and a flagpole. He's referring to Saddle River Road, just past, I guess it would be just north of the overpass there where Route 80 West exits, an exit ramp to Route 80, an entrance ramp to Route 80 West. Right, that lot right there that the town purchased years ago from the state. It really would be a nice area for a welcome to Saddlebrook sign, a big flagpole. So that's something I think we should consider in the future. I do have something of importance that I want to speak to, not only the residents that are here tonight. I want to speak to the residents that are watching at home. The town is in negotiations with the owner of 55 Mayo Street, which is the old Home Depot building, to purchase that property. Historically, over many decades, the town has talked about, but never acted upon, a rec center, which is very near and dear to me. It's something that I talk about when I ran in 2014. For years, we've been talking about, you know, we need a rec center for our children, and it just never seemed, it's never happened. Since I was a young boy, it was talked about, and was never done. Also, another issue is having one central municipal office for all departments other than the police department and DPW. Saddlebrook, in talking to our town historian, Mr. Lutico, happens to be the oldest person up here.
Probably. My name's up there.
That's right.
His name's on this building. But anyway, the town's always been land poor, and, you know, really we've leased various locations on a needed basis, you know, but never provided for the future. Although I gotta say that over the past few decades, with the leadership that we've had here, we have taken some steps to provide, you know, much needed facilities such as the town's first recreation facility being Veterans Field, which, you know, as we did a lot of work there. Initially, it was just a field, and and we put turf there, and also, now with the concession stand and the bathrooms. We also did a DPW facility to replace, they were in a rented trailer, and then the new police headquarters. So we have progressed and done a lot of good things, I think. But if you look at this building, it was built back in the late 70s. This is our town hall, as we all know. But that was in response to, we basically got kicked out of 17 Platt Avenue. We were leasing there, and a new owner came in and terminated the lease. So the current town hall that we're here, right here, it's really never been large enough, to house all the departments. One location, we have this location, we don't have everybody, all the other departments. We have a number of the building department, fire prevention are over at Coolidge School, which we lease for $1 from the Board of Education. And that was done back in the mid-'80s. And we consider that a town hall annex. So we're all spread out. At one time, the water department and the recreation director is now over at the Veterans Field. It's really a good location for him. But at one time, we had the water department there, so that was another location. Anyway, when the Home Depot closed, many residents approached myself, approached other council members, and asking us if we would consider purchasing it. And recently, we've had an opportunity, came to us, the owner, and we started discussions with the new owner, and we want to explore the feasibility of purchasing the property. We want the public to know that this is where, nothing is finalized. We're just in the negotiations phase. But it's something that I know myself, I feel very strongly about. I think it could be a good project, depending on, because it will fulfill a lot of needs. And I believe the council favors it as well. But the property, let me tell you a little bit about the property. It consists of about 5 acres with 61,000 square foot building and over 350 parking spaces. And what we're planning on, our vision would be, for the facility, would be a civic/recreation center for all ages. If this building's large enough and suitable to house, as I said before, all the municipal offices, including, all the offices currently at Coolidge School, and the municipal court as well, which now is occupying a portion of the police station. Coolidge School would revert back to the Board of Ed, and I do know that they are in need of space. That's for sure. Also, it would provide for a new firehouse to replace Hook and Ladder on Market Street, new ambulance corps building, and then because they would all be, the ambulance would be over there, this building and the other building by where the fire department is, we could sell that municipal property, which would offset some of the cost. So that's basically it so far, and we will keep everybody aware and abreast of as we go along. But I really truly feel that this site can be a home run for us, and it can provide services to all our residents that they deserve and they expect. So I'm excited about it. Again, it's nowhere near finalized, but we are trying to move forward, and hopefully we can negotiate a good price and a good deal. I know probably the council wants to say something about it. I don't want to be the only one to speak about it.
Thank you, Mayor. You want to say something?
100% in on this. We've been talking about this forever. It's one of the things that people always say, Saddlebrook gives us nothing, Saddlebrook gives us nothing. We've been improving that little by little, but this would go a long way, not only to consolidate our municipal offices, give the ability of the board to have extra room to do, to house whatever they feel is appropriate over there, but also as a recreation center, because that's, when people come in to a town, they're looking at young people. They're looking for schools. looking for good schools, and they're looking for something for their children to do. So I think, like you said, Mayor, it's almost a no-brainer. Obviously, money is a factor, but all of us will try to be as fiscally conservative as possible, but the end goal is to consolidate our municipal services and provide a recreation facility for all citizens.
Did we have a rendering at all? Do we have a rendering that we could show?
Maybe for the next meeting.
Can we have that for the
something.
next meeting, so you could have some idea? There's nothing but just to give us an idea of what it's gonna look like and what it's gonna include. I think that would be a good idea.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm definitely in favor of a new recreation center / municipal complex, fire department, ambulance corps building. But it has to make sense for all of our residents here. And we have to be conservative fiscally as well and take everyone into consideration. Nothing's carved in stone, but I would definitely be in favor of a new complex. Thank you.
You're welcome. Todd?
I am too, certainly for the project. Not only for the project, but I would love to be on a committee to help oversee the project, work in the way that we would like to see you hand out. And I would just look forward to it. It's something for not only my kids, but future kids, hopefully their kids to be able to go somewhere. It would be nice.
And one other thing, it's a build-to-suit. It would be a build-to-suit. So actually, if it works out, we would buy it from them and they would build it, which I would hope would take much quicker, Rick, when I look at you to say that, then we're not building from ground up. I think a build-to-suit would be a lesser amount of time. If it worked, it could, okay, then.
Through Chair, Mayor, my understanding is, this isn't, we buy the property, knock down the building, and they build something else.
No.
It's an existing building, and there'll be modifications to it.
Yes, that's what we were looking at.
Yeah.
And I too, of course, I'm on board 110%. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it'll be an awesome project. Right, on that note, I'd like to, any more new business before I open to the public? No? A motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's open. Anyone wishing to be heard?
On number 5, the rapid pump, what is that for?
I'm sorry.
Repairs to the pump on Maple Street Pump Station?
On Maple.
Okay.
We're still having problems there.
It was a repair that had to be done.
Huh?
It was a repair to the
I
pump.
know, but a couple of months ago, I noticed that we had 2 trailers on standby there with a pump truck. So, I mean, there's gotta be issues going on, and that's another golden parachute that we keep investing money in. What actually is the problem there? Can the problem handle it? Obviously, it didn't handle Congress Street this last flood, because Congress Street flooded. John
two
Street
separate
flooded.
issues.
Huh?
I'm sorry, are we talking about the
No,
pump
I'm just
station?
saying, that pump station obviously can't handle what's going on, and then people in that area, Albany, Congress, Washington, they get the backups in their basements with the sewers. So, I mean, there's gotta be problems, and we just keep going and going and going. I mean, this is a light one, 6,000, that's nothing. You know, we usually go for 80. But, you know, I mean, we gotta, is it big enough to handle the load, or it's not big enough? Or do we need another station? Should we look into building another pump station in that area to handle the load? Because that is the problem area. I mean, Saddle River Road can't take it, Fifth Street can't take it. What are we doing? We're just sending the water through the town and back up through the people's drains. It's a problem, Pete, and you know it's been a problem for 20 years. I don't know whether it's not big enough or whatever, but it's just not, you know, it's not right to keep putting money into it and keep having to repair it. And like I say, when you're a resident and somebody called town hall and they asked what's going on, oh, nothing. And like I say, there was 2 tankers there pumping this stuff out because the system couldn't handle it. You gotta be honest. Just say, look, we can't handle it. Don't use your washers, don't use your dishwashers. advise the people that, because if they think nothing's wrong, they're going full steam ahead in their house, using all the appliances. Have some kind of, you gotta reverse 911 or whatever to that area, say, look, cut everything off, we're having problems. But you just can't say nothing's wrong to the people, when there is stuff, wrong. When people ride by, residents ride by and see the tankers. It's not normal for a town to haul their sewage away. We're doing dirt for $80,000, I can imagine what that bill was, when we hauled sewage away.
Just
Good
to the
answer,
chair.
yes.
Yeah, just so that everyone is aware that this is not a situation caused by the township, and we're looking into
Right.
our legal alternatives with regard to the contractor. But I don't want to talk too much about that because it's a pending potential litigation matter. But we are exploring our options, and
Right.
that is not something that was done by the township.
Yes.
Also, through the chair, I just want to say, Larry, that what I was referring to on Congress Street a few weeks back, that had nothing to do with sewage. That had to do with the flash flooding, and it was water. It wasn't
Our
sewage.
infrastructure is so bad. Fifth Street is brand new, and Ross Street, by the liquor store, it mixes, it infiltrates. The raw sewage and the drain mixes together. It's got the pictures to prove it. It's raw sewage coming up. Not, if it was rainwater, it comes up, it goes down, fine, and not the other side.
Well, that's what was happening on Congress. The other areas,
I know, but I mean, you still got that on Fifth Street, you have it by the park over there, we put that one bench, and you have it by the liquor store.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
On tonight's resolution, I think it's number 11.
Propose a rate increase with Suez Water. They're raising our rates again?
They're trying.
Oh my
They're trying.
God. Didn't they do this last year?
2 years ago. Yeah.
So what does that mean by what you're all trying to do here? Petition them or try not? I have no idea what that means.
Well, we're against the increase, so
Yeah, I know you're
hopefully-
against it, but
hopefully-
is there anything that we could actually do? I mean,
Well, we have a resolution, and there are other towns, so other towns are all jumping on board also, so hopefully there'll be powers in number.
okay. It's not even Hoboken was trying to throw them
Yeah.
the hell out because they were, all the water main breaks
I
down
know.
in that neck of the woods. But I myself use bottled water because the water really tastes terrible around here. Anyway, thank you. That's all
You're
I have.
welcome. Anyone else? Motion closed?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I don't have anything at this meeting, it'll be
Nothing?
for the next year.
Okay, no other business? Motion closed?
Motion to close.
Motion
Motion
adjourned?
to adjourn.
Good night, everyone.